if you're listening in Mexico or Guatemala or in Latin America and want to call in, whether you're an expat or you live there, and you want to call me out for saying it's wrong that Obama advertises to the world, you know, if you're sick, you don't have a job, you're hurt, yeah, your little kids, come here, we'll pay for it. And by the way, they've come out over the weekend and Democrats admit, oh, we are kind of encouraging it. I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to hear from folks on the border states, people down by the border. I mean, it looks like a blighted war zone in South Texas on the border compared to what it looked like when I was in even college or high school. It was really cool down there. Really great museums, great food, great people on both sides of the border. It now resembles Calcutta meets Gaza or you know, bombed out city, boarded up everything, burned out cars. And I mean, Mexico's collapsing. And so I'm supposed to just collapse with it because the globalists have this plan. I want to get into Wesley Clark. In fact, you might have to run over to your office and pull that London Telegraph article you covered on the Nightly News this week. I think that's key to tie into this with Kit. So maybe we can try to print that off. What was the headline?
I don't remember. I'll have to go back and take a look at it. But you know what you're talking about with all this, the problems that are going, the blight in Mexico and now coming into the U.S., that's really the war that's going on there. You know, they want to talk about the wars in Afghanistan, Iraq that they started. What about this war that they started, the drug war that they started in Mexico?
Well, if somebody...
Thousands of people dying. I mean, it's worse in terms of casualties than Afghanistan.
Yeah, in fact, I keep saying 70,000, 70,000. Years go by like minutes now. That was like 3-4 years ago. And this weekend I looked it up because I saw it on the news. They said over 100,000 dead the last 6 years.
Yes.
And I looked it up. It's like 130-something thousand dead. I mean, more die than Vietnam.
Yes. And yet that is because of our drug prohibition war. That's what we pushed down into Mexico and Central and South America. Prohibition didn't work with alcohol.
Prohibition wrecked this country.
Exactly. And so now it's been going on for decades. We've been pushing it down. Rather than stop that plague, that war that we've inflicted on Central and South America, we're telling the people now to come into this country because it is a politically designed takedown.
And Petraeus was speaking at this Margaret Thatcher group, which is the opposite. She helped stop the total takeover of England under the EU. Later it got done, and I'm not lionizing her, but she did kill that.
Yeah.
And here they are at this Margaret Thatcher Society, and it's in the newspaper, saying, oh, the open borders are about North American Union. Yeah. Well, of course it is.
Well, Petraeus, the question was, after America, what's next? And he said, well, it's simple. North America. So and the whole time he's talking about NAFTA and the conjunction of Mexico.
If you go to the Banff Canada 2007 documents that are in Endgame, the Judicial Watch student got, it says, we will integrate through stealth and crisis. That's a quote. And they said the crisis will be a giant immigration wave collapsing the borders. We will also try to use the flu and terrorism.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what they're rolling out the plan right now. And
I mean, we have their battle plan.
Yeah, as far as they're concerned, they've already set up the legal framework where we don't have a border, and it's called NAFTA. And that's what Petraeus was glibly talking about. He had absolutely no problem talking about it.
Imagine if your neighbor dropped their diary on the ground, and it was in the wind blowing around, and you went and got it. You weren't trying to read it, but you saw your name in it. So you open it, you go in your house, you're kind of embarrassed, you read it, and it's like, yeah, I've been planning to kill David for years, and... You know, I think I'm gonna, you know, mug him next week and make it look like a mugging, you know, just to get him back because I don't like David and you know that'll teach him blah blah blah. You would do something about that.
It's a good analogy.
We have the globalists just openly admitting all this. White House science czar writes Eco-Science, saying, yeah, we put stuff in the water to brain damage you and lower your fertility. And, you know, we go down here to Austin, talk to the mayor with scientists. Harvard studies that fluoride lowers IQ, gives you cancer. He just flips us off.
Yeah.
Mayor just literally says F you and does it, flips us off, being polite.
They toasted him with the people, gave him the evidence, gave him a local report. The local TV station actually did the report. They toasted him and said, here you go. We're going to keep fluoride in the water.
Hi, I'm Shane Steiner. A lot of you have been following my progress using Super Male Vitality. The last 19 weeks has been an incredible experience. I was feeling a little down and lethargic during the holidays, and none of the supplements that I was taking were doing any good. That's when my longtime friend from high school, Alex Jones, introduced me to Super Male Vitality. I was a little skeptical at first. Not only would I have the energy to work out and go to the gym, but it was actually the changes were happening to my body a lot more rapidly. My whole mood, my libido, everything had completely changed. The concentrated organic herbs, they stimulate your natural systems to produce the natural hormones that you need. I just really wanted to bulk up and hit it hard, and I went in for about the first 5 weeks and was lifting heavy weight and just really hitting it hard, and I gained 20 pounds of muscle immediately. Since that, I've decided I was going to lose some weight and slim down. I just changed up my workout a little bit, and 35 pounds came off. Folks, this is not a joke. This is not a gimmick, it's real. Super Male Vitality, available at InfoWarsLife.com.
We're hardcore liberals on this broadcast. That means like Thomas Jefferson, not the fake liberals that are a bunch of ultra-fascist criminals wrecking this country with their rhino, blue blood accomplices. I am your host, Alex Jones. David Nice is going to ride shotgun with us the rest of the hour because I love having him here as my kind of Ed McMahon bouncing info back out at me. We've got Kit Daniels and, of course, the intrepid journalist and cameraman and video editor Rob Jacobson doing a great job down on the border in Brownsville, where they've been told they're not allowed to videotape the illegals on the buses being brought in by the Border Patrol and being paid to get on buses and be dropped off inside the interior. Our reporters are also being told they can't be up against the river, not even on federal, quote, property. Just don't show illegals coming across. And Breitbart has video of that happening to them as well. U.S. media restricted at border. Federal agent cites safety concerns. For your safety, I'm going to stick my hands down your pants at the airport. For your safety, we're going to do a proctology exam on Jesse Ventura. For your safety, we're going to naked body scan you while the government funds actual al-Qaeda all over the world to take over different countries, as now not just northern Iraq, but western Iraq is now falling to a Saudi Arabian al-Qaeda army that flies Osama bin Laden flags. And that's in the German press because they can read it. It's their favorite thing is to say, we're Osama bin Laden Brigade 1, Osama bin Laden Brigade 2. It's black flags in Arabic saying which, bin Laden group or which Wahhabist group they're part of. And Obama's setting up a command threat fusion center to help coordinate with the Iraqi government, guaranteed to get all the Iraqi military's data and give it right to al-Qaeda. And, of course, that's come out as well. So that's how this works. But, again, we're all suspects here in America and the Tea Party, the new terrorist. But we're going to Kit Daniels here in a moment till the bottom of the hour. And then, David, you're going to come back. We've got a bunch of news on Hillary, a new tape, her laughing about protecting child rapists. And she's just really celebrating it. Mm-hmm. And this is a real tape, and it just shows the pure evil that we're dealing with. And what else are you going to be covering?
Well, we're also going to talk about how they're covering for her with Benghazi. That's a big problem. I mean, it's not just what we're talking about, what we've heard.
Again, al-Qaeda murdering people.
Exactly.
That was al-Qaeda. Mm-hmm.
And we've heard from Pachinik and others that this was an arms deal. This was something that was going on between two different groups within the CIA. There was internecine fighting going on. But just at the superficial level, this lying about the fact that it was a reaction to a film. Now they've got a book that's coming out. A guy, Ed Klein, wrote this book that he's pushing called Blood Feud between the Clintons and the Obamas. And he's essentially trying to portray her as somebody who she knew that it really wasn't that film, but she had her arm twisted by Obama into going along with the deception. Well, I have a problem with that.
Well, I mean, Hillary Clinton never lies. You're against women.
People ought to understand this isn't any excuse. I mean, this is the best excuse they can come up with.
Well, she's the new gimmick.
Yeah.
Put a guy who claims he's part African in, and then he can destroy the whole Bill of Rights and Constitution because it's trendy. Well, now it's the woman thing. We'll show those guys. It's just pure gimmicks. And if Americans want to buy into this, folks, can you imagine if Hillary actually gets in?
Is tyranny any better if it comes to us dressed in a pink polyester pantsuit?
I think if you put Hitler in a pink suit and said it's for the women and said women show the men, that they would probably vote for Hitler.
Well, she's kind of channeling some kind of a supervillain over there in her poster with sunglasses.
Yeah, by the way, guys, let's show this by a Hillary-funded PAC. All over Austin is putting these up. We got one. It's Pound Ready is the Twitter meme. If you're watching at Infowars.com, you can see the feed of this in the listen and watch free link there. And she literally looks like she's trying to look like the Godfather or something here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just really bizarre and pathetic. And then they've got these blue signs up. She'll turn Texas blue, Hillary, readyforhillary.com. Boy, is that not disgusting.
They've got that poster of her in the sunglasses and the phone up on the back of the bus, along with a lecture, don't text and drive. You know, so it's like the perfect nanny state poster. You know, it's like
don't say bossy.
Big Brother and nanny state.
Hey, not only does Michelle Obama tell your kids what to eat, don't complain.
Yeah,
you're not just against women; you're against black women now.
Well,
no, I'm against control freak criminal weirdos telling me what to do while they feed our kids prison food.
They have a problem with her with the word bossy, but they put her up there to look like a boss. You know, I mean, it looks like a big mother, you know, instead of big brother. But
it is like a fascist or communist poster.
Yeah.
It's more fascist because the commies usually do that red on blue look. You know, that was the Obama poster. But I mean, that looks that literally with the red on the black looks fascist. That's like a Nazi poster.
Well, and what she says is like a Nazi, too. When she says that your viewpoints terrorize people, so you better shut up. If you don't think that I should be able to ban assault weapons, and there is no definition of what an assault weapon is. I mean,
they commit 2% of the crimes,
yeah.
FBI numbers.
So, you know, if
2% of gun crime.
If you oppose any of that, if you think that rights are something that's absolute and shouldn't be infringed around the edges, see, when they infringe on those rights and do it gradually, they essentially turn it into privileges. And they knew when they wrote the Second Amendment, nobody's going to come in and take their guns the next day. They're going to do it with a gradual process of moving.
And that's why they talk about you're not allowed to twist these words. I want to go to Kit Daniels on the border to give us a preview of what's coming up in the next segment. And then again, we'll play the clip of the head emergency manager in McAllen, major city, saying, no, I'm here. I run it. The feds give them vouchers to go wherever they want, illegal aliens, paying to, quote, ship them into the interior. And he's endorsing this, basically, as his job, okay? So we're going to play that again. But Kit Daniels, I know the videos will be up later tonight. You've been working so hard there with Jacobson around the clock. Want to commend you for what you're doing there. I know it's also dangerous in that area. You're saying that you guys have run into the same thing Breitbart is, where they're trying to keep you from documenting what's happening, Kit Daniels, from Brownsville?
Yes, sir. Right now we're seeing the beginnings of a media blackout on the same level as the invasion of Grenada in 1983. The Breitbart article was, the area of that it was about 60 miles north of where we're at right now in Brownsville. About 60 miles, I think, northwest.
Yes, I want you to go there. Go.
Okay. And we encountered the exact same thing here in Brownsville. Rob Jacobson and I, we drove into a neighborhood in Brownsville that was about 500 feet from the border. And all the dirt road, there's one dirt road in particular that we saw that looked like it's typically open. It was even shown on Google Maps that it was open. It was closed, restricted access only. And so we drove around the neighborhood and we found another dirt road. So we took that dirt road and kind of hugged the border, so to speak. And finally, we saw one lone Border Patrol agent that took a very keen interest in us. He shifted his SUV into gear, hightailed it, got right on our bumper right when we're driving back into the neighborhood. And he rode our bumper for a good 5 minutes. And it was obvious he was running our license plates. And I tried to wave him down, you know, talk to him, but
yeah, you're going to have to go up, like I said, with the other crew all week and talk to them right in their trucks like Breitbart did, and, or have them come over and tell you. But that already happened to Bound and others. We did get that on video at the major border crossing. They said, no, you can't be here. Again, because they don't want the fact that the crime is being committed to be known by the public. What else have you learned since you got down there last night that's coming up, Kit Daniels?
Well, we tried to get onto the detention facility for Immigration's Customs Enforcement, and they shut us down. They turned us away, saying, "Oh, well, we'll give you the number for the media person once you contact her, but no filming of the facility, not even driving up to the guard post."
Yeah, well, they don't have a right to not let you do that, where they commit their crimes at. Also, I would continue to show what the ICE agent gave us the intel on, how they release the illegals at midnight on the buses so that no one sees it.
Everything we said came true. Everything we've done's been right.
We are the heart of the resistance. It's on record. Texas is the big battleground. They take Texas, they get it all. A second California. Overrun with illegals, sworn to vote, basically communist. With the big mega banks, exempt offshore, crony capitalists controlling communism as the deployed social control system. That is the true socioeconomic tech weapon we face. Completely different from what the textbooks or colleges will teach you. But in Carol Quigley's books and other actual globalist tomes, it's admitted. Now, if you want to see the video in full, it's up on Infowars.com. City official admits Border Patrol fronting cash to bus illegals. I want to get Kit's take on that and expanding our investigation. But this is the head of McAllen Emergency Management, Kevin Pagan, told Infowars that 99% of them got off the Border Patrol bus at our bus station, had a ticket. The emergency coordinator for South Texas City stated. And he goes on in these quotes is that they basically pay for it. Then Paul Watson found a day after this broke the actual federal hiring from January at Fed Biz Ops, the federal contracts. They have to put those out, hiring the people to do this and to, quote, bring the kids in with dignity into the interior in January. And we found the documents, FEMA pre-deploying the goods. I mean, David Knight, this is unbelievable. I want to play this clip and then get our reporter on the ground's take on this and then your take on it. But here is the clip.
Well, what happened today in particular is that the Border Patrol dropped off some, they call them detainees, but obviously they're not detained after they drop them off. And normally they have tickets or arranged transportation to go somewhere in the interior. Well, today, apparently for some logistical reasons, some of them hadn't had transportation arranged, or their transportation is tomorrow.
Oh, that's enough.
And so
and it just goes on. He says they're illegal. So go watch the full video. Let's get Kit Daniels' take on this and then other new developments. You're going to be down there for a few days covering this. We're going to rotate more reporters down there, continuous coverage. But, Kit, what is it like to witness this level of lawlessness personally?
It's unbelievable. It's bizarre. Since we've been down here, we've seen maybe 10, 15, even 20 times more Border Patrol trucks parked in Border Patrol stations than we have even seen driving around. Oh, yeah. Oh, I want to add that. That's the key intel. I went to Big Bend, where I've been 15 times or more in my life. Always Border Patrol everywhere. I went there and saw one Border Patrol truck one time, and that was at the station in Alpine, 70 miles in, and they just waved us and everybody through. One guy. It used to be teeming. I'm glad. That's the story, is they're on stand down. Go show. Complete stand down. Yeah, yeah. And it's funny, the one Border Patrol agent we do encounter is coming after us. So it just emphasizes the point that Border Patrol is not meant to. I mean, there are good Border Patrol agents. No, they've called us. They've blown the whistle to us down there in person. We blurred their faces out. They're all quitting because it's over. Yeah. The establishment, the very top of Border Patrol, is meant to come after us, the American citizen. And that's what we've seen here so far. Yeah, and I've got two reporters here invited on, and I'm just ranting over everybody because I'm just freaking out. Kit, continue making your points. You're there. See, there's so many points. That's why I get mad and brainstorm, is I can't even explain how bad it is, David. Yeah. They're on stand down. The other reporters said that. There's no Border Patrol. Oh, yeah. They showed the major Brownsville thing that I've been through many times, used to be teeming. There was like 2 Border Patrol, and the cars just drive through. It's gone. It's gone. It's North American Union. The country currently is in cardiac arrest. I'm sorry, Kit. Go ahead and make your points. I'm literally just got lightheaded. Yeah, I haven't been down here probably about 10 years or so I don't really have a frame of reference as what to expect. But I expected a lot more Border Patrol agents than what I've seen so far. This is unbelievable. I mean, I was looking around at the, pan the camera, maybe, at the Border Patrol station, see if there's anyone I could talk to. There's absolutely nobody standing around. It's like a wide open border, literally. Yeah, Jacobs, continue to pan around while he talks. Yeah, it's unbelievable. And it's just, this is just a complete stand down, and the fact that they are they're shutting down public roads just emphasizes the fact there's a media blackout. Well, listen, shoot your own report in your own words. Clearly there's a stand down, and we need to get an article out tomorrow about this. David Knight?
Well, Alex, you said earlier that Fed Biz Ops solicitation said that they wanted to bring them in with dignity. They'd be the only people entering America anymore with any dignity, because the TSA was set up to take away our dignity and our freedom. Our troops are on death list. They don't give veterans, they let them die. Where's their dignity? If they're not Democratic voters, so they don't get jack crap. That's right. If they were serious. And I'm really having trouble not cussing. I'm being honest. Because sometimes, I'm not a cusser, but sometimes that's the only words I've got. This is BS, man. This damn government is criminal, filthy scum. God almighty, people, what the hell won't you put up with? I'm sorry, David. Go ahead. Well, you know, it quietly came out, and we were the only people to cover it. When John Corbett sued the TSA and was able to see their documents, he saw that in 2011, in their documents, it said that there was no threat, according to the TSA, at any of the airports or to
It's all horse crap.
Exactly. That was released because the lawsuit, they mistakenly put the unredacted copy up and then put the redacted copy.
It's an authoritarian takeover to get your bank accounts, people. When they get rid of the Bill of Rights, it's over. They will screw us to the wall. You think you're getting screwed now with food prices doubling? Get ready for hyperinflation. And we'll get to watch the very people, David, that engineered this whole thing pose as the saviors. I can't even look at this Hillary Clinton poster. I want to throw up, man.
Well, you know,
God, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
When Petraeus was at this conference last week, and of course now, after being a general in charge of Afghanistan, the drug operations there, then being with the CIA, now he's an investment banker with KKR, okay? So he's talking about NAFTA, and he's saying that it's got an advantage over Europe and even China because our demographics are going up while theirs are going down. The only way that NAFTA's demographics are going up is because of the massive influx of illegal
But they're bringing in disabled people and mothers with little kids. That's just Cloward and Piven.
Exactly.
See, they say North American unions to get us up while they shut everything off. Just like they said NAFTA and GATT would help us.
And then immediately after he talks about the fact that we've got demographics that are surging up, and of course, this is Petraeus's NAFTA surge that we're seeing now. Immediately after he says, well, we got the advantage because we've got the workers coming in, then he says, well, we got a revolution going on where instead of having 100 people on an assembly line, we're going to have 2 people and 100 robots. Well, what are we going to do with all the people?
No, it's going to be political.
Bring down the country. I mean,
By the way, I want to show that headline.
Let's Mexicans, it's going away because these robots that they're going to bring online.
I want to find that article because people say, oh, that you didn't say that. London Telegraph, we'll find it during the break. Kids, stay with us for the rest. I said I'd take some calls, but I'm so wound up right now. Look, you're supposed to freak out about this. People yell and scream about their sports team winning or losing. I yell and scream when I'm treated like a slave everywhere. And the border is stinking open. And I know all these people having their houses taken by the IRS who even paid the money, even though it's unconstitutional. I mean, it's like literally I have to go to Mexico, renounce my citizenship to come back here to have any freedom.
That's right. And have they stood down anybody at the airports? No, they're still going through with this basic facade that they've had with the TSA, denying us of the dignity that they're giving the people who are coming in here illegally, the gang.
Yeah, and by the way, all the other talk shows that listen to this show, grow up and admit we've been right about all this and join the team, okay? We'll be right back.
You are watching the best of the Alex Jones Show, weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Watch live at Infowars.com/show or become a member of InfoWarsNews.com and help us take resistance to the next level.